Kia ora, this is Arun Jacob, your friendly and frank licensed New Zealand immigration advisor, as well as international education advisor based in the city of Hamilton, New Zealand. As always, coming live from my office here in Hamilton, New Zealand. I normally tend to come live on once a week on Tuesday, but on the 8th of August, which is day before yesterday, the immigration minister of New Zealand made a very important announcement pertaining to the international education sector in New Zealand. So I thought it is good for me to come live and answer some of the burning questions that all you young people who are either already in New Zealand studying as international students or planning to come to New Zealand as international students have as burning questions at the top of your mind. So I said, all right, I'm going to break my rule and come live one more time this week and also be able to engage all you guys and girls and kind of give you some assurances as a licensed immigration advisor. And as always, I'm going to start off by showing you a copy of my license, which is the license issued to me by the Immigration Advisors Authority of New Zealand, which is a government department in New Zealand. So I had to study pretty hard, just like all of you people, to get to my license and also undergo police verification, stuff like that. But my team and I, we've been very actively involved in promoting New Zealand as a study destination, and which is why every time there is a big policy change, I feel it is important that someone like myself, who is able to talk about immigration policies and end up in discussions, is able to come and discuss with you guys. Right now, for those of you who follow my work, you guys know that I love wearing my t-shirts when I'm coming on this live sessions or more of my videos that I make. So I was searching for a t-shirt today and I suddenly found this one, which is a brand new T-shirt, which was given to me by a wonderful client from Nepal, for whom I had done a visa. And this T-shirt was hanging, and I thought it was perfect to wear it today because the news I'm going to share today, or the news that the immigration minister shared, has made a lot of international students feel exactly like that, which is to be on top of the world. So I thought it was going to be very appropriate to wear this T-shirt and add a little drama to the proceedings today. And because I think it was very positive news overall. And I think there are a lot of people, including international students, as well as institutions, as well as companies like AJV Services, which is the company I work for, and the company which the rest of my colleagues are part of. We are all involved in the international education sector of New Zealand. So I think all of us are feeling a little bit on top of the world today. So I thought it was just about right to wear this particular T-shirt and come in there. So I have a few of our students already joining in, and since yesterday my phone has been ringing off the hook because everybody has been wanting to get some clarification or the other, and so we also have an exclusive Facebook group for only AJV students, and we've already been talking to them and engaging with them there. And I did promise them that I'm gonna get online and answer some questions today. So we're gonna start off today with I already have a question from. And guys, when you're asking questions, I would really like it if you can identify yourself as an AJV student, so that I can kind of spend some time and deliberate and give you as much detail as possible. Not that I will ignore the other students, but obviously my loyalties lie with our AJV students first and foremost. So I will definitely spend some time answering, but I will also be answering questions from everybody else. So the first question is from Arvind Sundaresan, who says, "Hi, I'm an AJV student." Hi, Arvind. Of course, I remember. I remember most of the names of our AJV students. Now I'm in for graduate diploma level 7 at MIT. As per the rules, I'll get 3-year open visa. So in those 3 years, if I don't get PR, then do I want to go back to India, or is there any chance for continuing working here without PR, like any work visa? I think it's a good question. I think yesterday I already made a very elaborate 10 or 11-minute video and put it out there explaining what are the different changes that are happening. First and foremost, most of the international students who are present in New Zealand who graduate after 26th November, that is the applicable date, that is the 26th of November 2018 is when most of these rule changes are going to occur. So, if there are students currently in New Zealand studying a 2 year course between level 4 and 6, or studying a 1 year course from level 7, 8, 9, 10 onwards, most of you, I think, are going to get a 3 year work visa, which I think is phenomenal. And to already answer a question of some other students who are here with their spouses and wondering, oh, but what will happen to my spouse? Once you get the work visa, by default, the spouse would also be able to get, not by default, like an, it's guaranteed, but the fact is you've already been granted a partnership based work visa, so the spouse would also be able to get a partnership based work visa. So there's not much of a problem there. But coming back to Arvind's question, which is very good, he's saying, yes, he's aware already that he's going to get a 3 years work visa, which is brilliant, Arvind. Congratulations. Because when you applied for your visa, the rule was that you were only going to get a 1 year post study work visa, but now obviously with the new change in policy, you are going to be eligible for a 3 years post study work visa. And your question is, after those 3 years, if I'm still not able to get a job, do I have to go back to India? I mean, the answer pretty much is yes, because after you're completing your course from a very good institution in New Zealand, like MIT, which is Monaco Institute of Technology, and you're studying in a skill shortage area, and you have 3 years of work visa with no strings attached, no pressure from an employer saying you have to stick with me only, so on and so forth, you will need to work your way to a position of either getting to a bracket of $42,952. If you are able to reach that $42,952 as your salary, and if the employer is able to prove that there were no other New Zealanders available for this position, then you can apply for something called the essential skills work visa, which is normally for another further 3 years. Or if you are able to get to a figure of $50,523 as your salary in these 3 years, then you can very well go straight forward for your resident visa application, which is where you can, there is not a number of years attached to it, and you can kind of go on and stay reside in New Zealand. So that's right. I mean, in these 3 years, the responsibility is on you, the pressure is on you to ensure that you get to one of these salary thresholds, either the $42,952 threshold to be able to get an essential skills work visa, and then further get a 3 years work visa, as long as your employer can prove that there were no local residents or citizens available, or go up to $50,523 and just go for straight for the resident visa. So that's the way it's going to be working, guys. So in 3 years, if you're still not able to reach that point, maybe you need to look at yourself and kind of say, what is that about my attitude, knowledge, or skills that's not helping me to get to that point? So it's going to be a challenge. It will not be an easy, straightforward journey to 42,952 or 50,523. But hey, look, you have 3 whole years to achieve that. Hope I have answered that, Arvind. Okay. Right. Next question. Okay. Okay. I'm trying to see which are the next questions. It is pretty warm here. Okay. What is the next question now? My questions seem to have run up. Okay. Dushan Hasanta Maharaji asks, can I earn while studying? How much per hour? I mean, obviously, you can. You are allowed 20 hours part time work when you are studying, Dushan. And how much per hour? We have a minimum wage. That is the minimum you will be earning. But if you are able to get some more over and above that, of course, you'll be eligible to earn that as well. All right, cool. Okay, Sahaya Anthony asks, I'm doing level 8 course and my spouse have work visa. If I get 3 years visa, how about my spouse? I just clarified that, Sahaya. So if you're on a level 8 course and then you get your 3 years post-study work visa, your spouse also will be eligible to apply for a partnership-based work visa. So obviously he will also be able to get a 3 years work visa and which is what I commented yesterday and said, wow, it looks like there is a massive bonanza now for all students and their spouses who are already present in New Zealand. So that's what it is. All right. Okay. Okay. So some guys are also asking questions which are not really relevant to this particular discussion today. So I will kind of, skip some of those questions and keep going to questions basically pertaining to this particular discussion that we are having today. One of our students, AJV students called Vasant, he actually called me and asked me a question saying, hey, look, I am already on my 1 year post study work visa, and which is, by the way, expiring before 26th of November 2018. So, what is going to be my situation? So, the answer to that is quite clear, Vasant. If your 1 year post study work visa is expiring before 26th November 2018, then you guys will be under the old rules, which means you should find a relevant job and apply for the 2 year post study work visa employer assisted. Only if your 1 year post study work visa open is expiring after 26th of November 2018, then pretty much it is a given that you should be able to approach the immigration department of New Zealand and ask for those extra 2 years of post study work visa, which is now all open, and there is no longer employer assisted, and there no longer any attachments of any employer to that work visa. So, for those of you whose 1 year post study work visa is expiring before 26th November 2018, you will need to find get a job that is relevant to the course you have completed and make an application just like how you have made under the old rules for the post study work visa employer assisted. And once you get that, after 26th of November, if you want, only if you want, you can again approach the Immigration Department of New Zealand and ask them for a variation of conditions, saying, can you remove my conditions of being linked to a particular employer so that in future, if you change employers, you don't have to keep going back to the Immigration Department each time. So I hope I have answered that question, Vasan. Okay. All right. Um, I'm trying to find some questions which will be relevant to the policy change, but most of the questions seem to be from new students who are still wanting to come into New Zealand. So because there are quite a lot of questions coming from new students who are wanting to come into New Zealand, and not okay, there is not so much from old students who are already here. I'm going to throw some light on that as well. So, if you're a new student who was planning to come to New Zealand uh, after 26th November 2018, or if you're what will happen after this 26th November 2018 is, if you're wanting to get a 3 years post study work visa, you will need to study either a level 7 bachelor's or a level 8 postgraduate diploma or a level 9 master's or a level 10 PhD. That is the requirement in future after the policy change occurs for you guys to be able to get the 3 year post study work visa. If you are planning to come for a level 7 graduate diploma and you're planning to study outside Auckland, then you will be eligible for a 2 years post study work visa. If you're planning to come for a level 7 graduate diploma and in Auckland, you'll be eligible for a 1 year post study work visa. If you're planning to come and do a graduate diploma in Auckland, and you also need to have you have a requirement to get a registration from a professional body or a trade body, then there is a likelihood you'll get a 1+1 post study work visa. So it's all still a little fluid, and there's still a lot of things. It took me like a good couple of hours yesterday to sit and understand the whole thing and work through it, but I'm beginning to make sense as well. So today, guys, I'm still kind of I'm doing a live session and also kind of trying to interpret the laws that are open as 3 PDFs in front of me and talking to you guys. So as the days keep progressing, it will keep developing. But as of today, this is my interpretation of these laws, and it is looking very, very good and very positive for New Zealand. And I think it is going to help us a lot in our international education sector. Right. There is a question from Sanket Patel who asks. My student visa is going to expire on 30th November, level 7 diploma. Am I able to get 3 years work visa? Yeah, absolutely, because you are under the current, you are a student right now, and you'll be applying for the post study work visa. You would definitely be eligible for the 3 years work visa, Sanket, because I was reading about the rules, and the rule says quite clearly, and bear with me guys as I read through these documents, and it says quite clearly, because you're doing a level 7 course at the moment, and and you're doing, and if this level 7 is for at least 30 weeks study in New Zealand, which most graduate diploma level 7s are, uh, then you will be eligible for a 3 year post study work visa. That's what it says. Yeah. So if yours is a non-degree level 7 qualification, which is a graduate diploma, and it is obviously for a minimum of 30 weeks. So on successful completion of your qualification from 26 November 2018, you may be eligible for a 3 year open work visa. So congratulations, my friend. It looks like you're going to get a 3 year work visa. Right. Gurvinder Singh says, hi, I'm going to apply post study visa within 2 weeks. I think, Gurbinder, it will be the same thing. You did not mention whether it is what levels you're studying or how many years you're studying. But if you're studying a course which is at level uh, 7, 8, 9, or 10, and you studied for at least 30 weeks in New Zealand, then you'll be eligible for a 3 year post study work visa if your qualification is after 26th November 2018. If you've studied between levels 4 and 6, which a lot of international students really don't come for, and if you studied for at least 60 weeks, which normally comes to about 2 years, then also you'll be eligible for a 3 year post study work visa. All right, cool. Right. There is somebody called Harihara Sudan who says, I have applied graduate diploma in business. How much year I would get stay back? Depends, Hari, when you're going to start your course. When are you going to start your course? Are you going to be in New Zealand? In a particular city? Are you studying in Auckland or not? So, if you're applying for a graduate diploma, which is normally a level 7, if you're going to study in New Zealand, then in business, and there is no registration requirement for that, then obviously you're going to get only 1 year post study work visa. But if you choose the same graduate diploma of business in a city outside Auckland, then you'll be eligible for a 2 year work visa if it is starting after 26th November 2018. If you're going to start your course before 26th November 2018, then obviously you would get a 3 year post study work visa, whether it is in Auckland or not, whether you have a registration requirement or not. And that is the beautiful thing about this new policy, which is absolutely tremendously in favor of young students, right? Sunil Tiwari asks, I got my open post-study work visa a week ago. So does this rule affect or not? If affect, what will we get? What we will get? I mean, can we apply 2 year open work visa or not for graduate level 7? Yes, absolutely, Sunil. Now that you already are on the 1 year post-study work visa, and it's going to expire after 26th of November 2018, you can approach the immigration department and ask for a further 2 year post study work visa. So, absolutely, that's clear. If you need help with that, contact us at AJV Services and we'll be able to happily help you with the process and ensure that you also get professional guidance. All right, cool. Surya Prakash asks, good evening, Arun. I'm an AJV student presently studying in MIT. After 3 years of work visa or 3 years of open work visa, what are the criteria we have to fulfill to apply for PR? or can we apply for PR within this 3 years? Good question, Surya Prakash. I mean, obviously, as I said, the threshold, the income threshold for further visas after your post-study work visa is that to be able to get an essential skills work visa, you need to get $42,952 as your salary in the year. Plus, your employer has to prove that there were no local Kiwis and residents available for the position. Or if you want to apply straight for a resident visa or PR, as most people call it, you will need to get a salary of $50,523, and you have 3 years to achieve it. So in this 3 years, the moment you hit $50,523, you should be able to make a resident visa application. And for that particular application, there will not be a requirement from your employer to prove that there were local Kiwis or no Kiwis, or local residents and citizens, to use a more appropriate terminology. If you're not able to get the 50,523 Surya, then if you're earning 42,952 and above, then you should be able to go for essential skills work visa. But which normally is for 3 years. But the one point is that your employer, whoever has given you the job, has to prove, show advertisements and stuff saying, hey, look, we tried to get local residents and, citizens, but we were not successful. And hence we are offering the job to him. All right. Good question, Surya, though. So, but remember, you have 3 years to achieve these salary thresholds. So now, interestingly, all these things are coming into play: the course you did, where you studied, what work visa you're on. So quite frankly, guys, it's very complex. And but it took me like a couple of hours. I was actually in Auckland on the day it was announced, and I came back very late. And then yesterday I sat down for a couple of hours to get my head around the whole thing, and my head is still reeling a little bit, to be honest, trying to understand all these things. But I'm beginning to see clearly how things are falling, and that's exactly what I'm sharing with you guys. All right. If I'm not clear enough, please type and say you're not making sense, and I'll try and make it more clearer for you guys. All right. Cool. Man, this was hot work today. Okay. Kushbul Limbadia asks, I have one query, which is if I do a level 9 course, a master's degree, and come with my spouse, then will I be eligible to get a work permit of 3 years after completion of a master's? Good question. I think it's a good question to discuss about the going forward, what's going to happen to the spouse work visa of students who are planning to study in New Zealand. The rules are simple, guys, going forward after the new policy comes into place. If you want to get your spouse on a work visa to New Zealand, going forward, you need to ideally do a level 9 master's or a level 10 PhD. No problems with that. If you are going for a level 8 or a level 7 course, that particular course has to be an exact match to a course or a qualification defined in the long-term skill shortage list of New Zealand. So that is what we are looking at. So because Kushbu says she has planned to come for a level 9 master's degree, there will not be a problem for her spouse to be able to apply for a work visa as a dependent, provided they, of course, they meet all the criteria of being in a genuine relationship and living together. But for others who do not fall into that level 9 or 10, or do not match an exact level 8 or a level 7 on the long term skill shortage list, then what you guys can do is possibly look at coming in. So I mean, here's an example. If somebody is coming into New Zealand for a graduate diploma level 7, or let's say a postgraduate diploma level 8, and wants to come with the spouse, if that level 8 postgraduate diploma is not an exact match to a qualification in the um, long-term skill shortage list, the spouse can still accompany, but on a visitor visa. So the spouse can come, but the spouse will not get a work visa because that level 8 course is not an exact match to the to a qualification on the long-term skill shortage list. So what this student can do is, if he or she is keen to get the spouse, let the spouse come in on a visitor visa. For 1 year, the spouse cannot work on a visitor visa. But after completion of the 1 year, when the student gets a 3 year post study work visa, by virtue of having completed a level 8 program, then the spouse will become eligible for a work visa. Interestingly, if the spouse is really good and comes on a visitor visa, while in New Zealand, goes around looking for job, and somebody says, "Yeah, look cool, look, you have great talent, and we're willing to give you a job offer," the spouse can take the job offer and independently apply either for an essential skills work visa or for a resident visa. It has happened in the past. So, with a lot of our clients, sometimes spouses come and within 5 6 months they find great jobs which are above the threshold of $50,523, and then they go ahead and apply for the resident visa. So overall, it's still looking very positive, guys. So nothing to worry about. All right. Yeah. Okay. Shikha Said asks, since the policy is effective from 26th November, can we still go for level 8 course, which is not a long-term skill, for 3rd November, and family will be allowed? Shika, good question. If you are going to apply for your spouse work visa based on a level 8 course, and if you do apply for it before the declaration of the policy on 26th, or the implementation of the policy from 26th November, your spouse work visa application will still be looked at under the old rules, or the existing rules right now. So I think it's a good point you've made. So if you're coming for a level 8 course, it's a good idea to lodge your spouse work visa application. If you're working with AJV, we will of course, take care of it. If you're not working with AJV, I strongly encourage you to get in touch with our team, because even the immigration officers will be a little confused right now. So they will also be looking at spouse work visas, with a slightly confused, or trying to understand state of mind. So it is important they are presented the right way, and more important that they are presented by a licensed immigration advisor. Otherwise, you'll end up getting into the other loop of immigration, saying, "Oh, look, you went to an unlicensed person," so it might lead to more problems. So, Shika, if you're not already working with AJV, I strongly urge you to consider working with AJV, because I think it's a critical moment for everybody, for students, for immigration department. I mean, you guys have to bear in mind that immigration officers are also human beings, just like you and me. And like I said, it took me like a couple of hours to sit and almost read this entire policy like a textbook, and try to make some sense of it so that I can sit and talk to you guys. So likewise, immigration officers would also be trying to get their head around things. And so in the midst of all this confusion, sometimes the decisions may not be right, and which is why you guys must choose to work with a professional company like AJB, and we'll present it the right way. Even if there are concerns, we will fight it the right way and ensure there is success for you guys. All right, cool. Okay, somebody called Abhijit says, "Hi, I hope you remember me." Hi, Abhijit. Hopefully, I mean, like I said, I do get a lot of inquiries, and but your name does ring a bell. I'm planning to join 11/7 graduate diploma in accounting. So, what will be the stay back for this course? If you are studying this course, I don't know. So, you have to mention when is this course starting. If the course is starting before 26th of November 2018, then obviously you will get a 3 year post study work visa. If you are starting after 26th November 2018, if you're studying in Auckland, obviously you'll get 1 year post study work visa. If you're studying outside Auckland, you'll get 2 years post study work visa. If you're in Auckland and also working towards registration with chartered accounting, the Australia New Zealand chartered accounting body, then you will likely get another 1 year extra as well. So Abhijit, I would like you to connect with us if you're not already connected with us, with the AJV team, and then we will take this forward from you. All right. Cool. Okay, Zafar is asking a question about migration to New Zealand. Zafar, please send. This session is primarily to discuss this new policy change, Zafar. So I'm not going to answer my questions, which I normally do on my Tuesday sessions. But what I would like you to do, Zafar, is email your CV and your spouse CV to info@ajvglobal.com, and we'll take a look. and let you know whether you qualify for in the skill migrant category. All right, cool. Just be aware, skill migrant category is kind of straight away. The straightforward thing is ruled out. There is only something called a skill migrant category post job search visa possible in case you get the required number of 160 points. But like I said, Zafar, please send your CV and that of your spouse to info at ajvglobal.com and we will take it forward from there. And guys, for all of you who are based in India and you want some information, if I'm not able to cover all the questions being asked in this session today, please call 1-800-103-6525. I repeat that, 1-800-103-6525. This is our toll free number in India. For all those clients based out of India, please call this number. For those who don't want to use the phone or just send us some details about yourself, please send an email to info at ajvglobal.com and we'll come back and talk to you guys about it. All right, cool. Right, Shankar Ki says, Hi Arun, I'm an AJV student. Thanks, Shankar, for confirming that. It's always good to speak to AJV student. I have applied for level 8 PG diploma for IT in EIT Auckland and Unitech for PG diploma in computing. I have already got my application acceptance too from EIT for the February 19th. Excellent, Shankar. So you are coming for a level 8 course, which is fantastic. So, and you're also choosing very good institutions. And with the introduction of the new policy, which will be applicable from post after 26th November 2018, you will be eligible for the 3 years open work visa, post study work visa open, which is the new policy. So, well chosen, and it's a good course you're choosing. Good subject as well because IT information technology is also in our long-term skill shortage area. And I think all these policies that are being changed is to try and attract more and more people into our skill shortage areas and at the higher levels of study, which means that the English is also better. So overall, good course choice, Shankar, and I think you will do really well here. And of course, you have all of us here in New Zealand to talk to and support and um, continue to give you advice even after you reach New Zealand. Unlike a lot of other people who reach New Zealand and there is nobody for them to speak to. In fact, since yesterday, there have been so many phone calls I've been getting, and a lot of these students are not AJV students, and it's been a little not so nice to tell them, guys, I can't keep answering all your questions. So some of my AJV students also, kept calling, and some I could answer, some I could not answer because there were a lot of phones coming. But all AGV students, as much as possible, we will get back to you. And in fact, part of this session today is partly also to answer some of your queries. So, that's the kind of attention we'll give AGV students. But non-AGV students, guys, just understand that we will not be able to come back to you on a one-on-one basis. But to all AGV students, we will certainly try and do our best and talk back to you one-on-one. If not myself, somebody else on the team will do that. All right, cool. Okay, Mohit Pandey asks, sir, what would be option for level 7 diploma uh, students in supply chain management who are planning to come? What would be the option for us if we want to stay back in country after completing 2 years? I mean, see, guys, the best option to stay back in the country is to find a job and be able to get to that salary thresholds, as I keep talking about. The salary thresholds, as I keep saying, is $42,952 to be able to apply for an essential skills work visa, or $50,523 to be able to apply for a resident visa. Since most of you want to stay back in New Zealand, you whatever period of post-study work visa you have, which at the minimum is 1 year or 2 years or 3 years, you have to work your way upwards towards being able to get to that salary. If you're not able to get to that salary rate, unfortunately, you might just have to move on and get back. But 3 years is a long enough time for you to be able to do some work, gain some New Zealand experience, earn some money, recover the investment of money you have made into your studies in New Zealand. So I think overall it will work out quite well. And I think the good ones with the attitude, skills, and knowledge will definitely end up getting their residency. And from my own experience of working with a lot of brilliant young students who come to New Zealand through us, a lot of them are getting their residency. So You need to have the right attitude, skill, and knowledge. And I think they've suddenly made it very dynamic with all these policies. So 3 whole years to prove yourself. 3 whole years, guys. That's 365 into 3. That's more than 1,000 days you have to prove your worth in this market. And if you are able to prove your worth, I'm sure you'll also get your residency, because bear in mind, we also have an active skilled migrant category policy, because we want to retain people to stay back in New Zealand. We can't retain each and every international student who comes here, but there are a certain number of skilled migrant category positions available every year. And I think about 20% of international students actually do find those relevant jobs and get the residency and stay back. So you need to aim to be in that 20% of students who will go on to become future residents and citizens of New Zealand. If you cannot achieve that particular target, you still have 3 years to work, gain valuable New Zealand work experience, and be able to recover the investment you've made, and then go back to your country or whichever part of the world you want to with this good experience, and then try to create a career. All right. Cool. Okay, Sankalp Pawale. Hey, I'm applying visa for level 5 and level 7. What changes had happened? Your question is not clear, Sankalp. Okay, I'm not sure how you're applying for level 5 and 7, unless until it is some combination of 5 and 7. I don't know. I haven't, it's not been very often that I've come across that combination. So please ask your question more clearly, and I'll be able to answer that. Okay, Ravi Jaiswar asks, hi Arun, my wife is an AJV student and she has got offer letter from a couple of colleges for postgraduate diploma in IT. My question, will it impact the spouse work visa? Do we need to go for master's level 9, or are we good with level 8 postgraduate diploma in IT? Good question, Ravi. If your wife is coming before 26th November 2018, we still have ability to apply for your work visa under the old rules. But if your wife is coming after 26th November 2018, I do not think the postgraduate diploma in IT is an exact match to a qualification on the long term skills shortage list. So it might make sense to shift the course and then move into a master's course, because again, more, by and large, the requirement for a master's and a postgraduate diploma in IT, the IELTS, and some of the other requirements are the same. But very good question. If she has already applied for her student visa, and if a student visa is already in progress, then it's a good idea to apply for your spouse work visa right now. If she is coming after 26 November 2018, then it is a good idea that she look at a master's program. So that's my suggestion to you. Okay, there's somebody else. I'm just trying to say. Uh, I think Vasant is the one of our. Sorry, guys, I'm just skimming through some of the questions to recognize some of our AGV students so that I can answer their questions quickly. Vasant, I think Vasant, I've already answered your question. As I told you, if you're already on a post-study work visa, 1 year open in New Zealand, and if this is expiring before 26th November 2018, then the old rules apply. You need to get yourself a job that is relevant to the course you've completed, and apply for the 2 year post-study work visa employer assisted. After the rules change, you can approach immigration department and get the employer's name removed from that 2 year visa if you like. But right now, because the old rules apply, you will need to get yourself a job that is relevant to your course, and just in the normal style like we've been doing till yesterday or day before, you will need to apply for the 2 years post-study work visa employer assisted. All right, cool. Okay, right. There are quite a few questions. Shilpa Tyagi asks a question: is there a clause for 55K under accredited employer for residents? Now, Shilpa, accredited employers, I am not quite certain what the clause is for accredited employers, but I can quickly check that for you while we are on this call. And uh, yes, For accredited employers, you need to have a minimum base salary of 55,000 per annum. So your question was absolutely correct, Shilpa. That is definitely a requirement under the accredited employers. For but because the accredited employer scheme is like, it's basically work to residence. It's like a resident visa process, but through an accredited employer. And for that, yes, you need to have $55,000 as the base minimum salary per year. That's correct. Okay, I'm still okay. Pranav is again an AGV student, and he says, "Hi Arun, I'm an AGV student. Of course, I remember you, Pranav. Recently, I got my open search work visa on July 23rd. So, are we allowed to get extra 2-year open search visa like other people after November 2018?" That's correct, Pranav, because you already have an open work visa, which will expire after 26th November 2018. You will be able to approach the immigration department and ask for a further 2-year open work visa. So that is what is going to be applicable for you. Because you're an AJV student, please connect with us and we will help you with that for now. Okay. Okay, Chelsea is asking, "Hi Arun, my wife Preeti Singh is AJV student and has an offer for PIMS, which is Pacific Institute of Hotel Management Studies, for postgraduate diploma in hotel management level 8, October 28 intake. I understand that she will get 3 years post-study work visa. Will I get spouse work permit as we are going before November 28th new rules change?" Absolutely. Like I just confirmed, if you're applying before the policy takes effect, which is November 26, 2018, you will be under the old policy. And because your wife is choosing a postgraduate diploma level 8, which allowed spouse work visas, you will be able to apply for it. All right. I hope I have answered that. Okay, guys, I'm gonna keep going forward to see. Right. Narayan Swami Reddy is also one of our students, so I'm jumping to his question. Firstly, thanks for the expert Q&A session. You're welcome, Narayana. I mean, like I said, we guys are here to deal with you guys, to give you guys as much information as we can. My friend's post-study work visa expires in October. Is there any way for him to continue staying in New Zealand with the new policy? He did graduate diploma level 7. Narayana, I mean, ideally, you shouldn't be asking on behalf of your friends. This you should be asking as an AJV student, but doesn't matter because you're my student. I'll answer your question, which I already answered. I mean, because his post study work visa open is expiring before the new policy kicks in, he will be under the old policy, which means he needs to get a relevant job and apply for the 2-year post study work visa, employer assisted. If he wants, after the new policy comes in, he can go back to immigration department and ask for a variation of conditions and say, get rid of the employer's name from my post-study work visa, so that every time in future he changes jobs or location or employer, he does not have to keep going back to the immigration department. All right, cool. Right, I'm still trying to see if I can see any of my AJV students here before I come back to some of my the. All right, there, Nova Susan Isaac. Now she says, "I'm an AJV student and I'm planning for level 7 graduate diploma in early childhood education from NZTC Christchurch. So how many years stay back can I get?" Nova, because you are choosing, you have not mentioned when your course is starting. You'll have to mention Nova when your course is also starting. But because you are going to, if you also have to mention if you have already filed your student visa application or not. But because you're going for a graduate diploma level 7 and it is not in Auckland, at the minimum you'll be eligible for a 2 years post study work visa open. And if your student visa application has already been accepted and is in process, then you'll be eligible for a 3 years work visa, post study work visa, Nova. But like I said, you're not clear about some more details, and which is why I can tell you at the least you will get 2 years because it's in Christchurch and not in uh, Auckland. And if your student visa is already accepted, then you'll be eligible for a 3 years work visa, because you'll be considered as someone who is under the rules that they have declared, where all current students, so that essentially will consider you as an already current student even while your student visa application is being processed by the immigration department. Okay, I'm still right. Shankar K. Uh, I think I just answered, but I'm going to answer once again. Hello, Arun. Good evening. I'm an AGV student. My question is, will my spouse get an open work visa by the choice of my PGDM, and does my selected course fall under the list of long-term skill shortage? Shankar, again, see, a lot of you guys are just asking me questions without giving the dates. If you are going to apply for your at the postgraduate diploma level, you will be able to you will be able to apply for a spouse work visa if you're applying before 26 November 2018. But after 26 November 2018, you can only apply for a spouse work visa if your postgraduate diploma is an exact match to a qualification on the long term skills shortage list. Now, when you said PGDM, again, you did not mention what it is, but I'm thinking it's a postgraduate diploma in management. There are very few level 8 courses or qualifications in the long-term skill shortage list, and I do not think it will be this will be one of them. But connect with the team, whoever you're speaking to, and we will give you more precise information. All right, Shankar. All right. Cool. Okay. I'm searching for some other guys. Okay, Rambo Stallone. I think I remember. She is also Nadia is one of our students from Pakistan. Hi Nadia, hope you and the family are doing well. And yeah, actually, I remember your question. I think Nadia, see your spouse. You have written, I'm doing postgraduate diploma in ECE level 8 course. After completion of course, what will be the fate of my husband's work visa and schooling of my children, as the course does not fall in long-term skill shortage. Don't get confused, Nadia. Your husband is already in New Zealand on a work visa. So he's already started. After you complete your course, you will then get the post study work visa for 3 years. Because you're a work visa holder, your husband will again become eligible for a work visa as a partner of a work visa holder. So, and because he gets his work visa, the kids will continue to get schooling. So, absolutely nothing to worry about. Nadia, I think you guys are just, you guys are absolutely fine. And yeah, lovely to say hello to you guys again. And I remember the back and forth we had while we were fighting for your husband's work visa. I promise you everything is going to be fine, and you guys will continue to do well in New Zealand. All right, cool. And because you're studying a postgraduate diploma anyway, Nadia, and you're already a current student, you'll get a 3 years work visa. Once you get your work visa, your husband will become eligible for a 3 years work visa. Because he gets a work visa, the kids will be able to continue their schooling. All right, cool. Suresh asks, hi Arun, my wife is an AGV student. She has chosen level 8 postgraduate diploma in cloud computing in Unitech. The course is in long-term skill shortage or not. As per new rules, if the student plan to come along with spouse, the course is a long-term skill shortage. Will plan for Jan 19th intake. Suresh, I don't think that course is an exact match. Uh, is an exact. I don't think the level 8 postgraduate diploma in cloud computing is an exact match to a qualification. In fact, I was doing a little bit of research, guys, to see which are all the the level 8 courses available in the long term skill shortage list. There are not a lot of level 8 courses in the long term skill shortage list, and so I don't think this will be an exact match to the long term skill shortage list. Sorry. So one option for if you want, and also because you're applying after November 26, 2018, one option is for you to consider that your wife can take up a master's course, or the other option is that you come of the first year on a visitor visa and search for a job on your own merit, or just stay, and while you're here on the visitor visa, search for a job on your own merit, or ask your wife to shift into a level 9 master's course, and you'd be able to come on a work visa from day one, because you guys are planning to apply after November 26th. And but also discuss with our team if there is a possibility that your wife wants to continue only with this postgraduate diploma level 8. Discuss with the team to see if we can apply for it before November 26th. But because the course is starting in January 19th, it might get delayed, the processing, and then the immigration department might say, okay, because it's gone beyond November 26th, they may not likely consider you as somebody who can get a work visa. If you're willing to come on a visitor visa and be in New Zealand and search for a job on your own merit, you can still do it. Bear in mind, guys, they are not stopping spouses completely. They are only saying you will not be able to come on a work visa. You can, but you'll still be eligible to come on a visitor visa and look for jobs on your own merit. All right. Okay, I'm just reading some messages from my team. What Yeah, team, your question is not very clear. Um, saying, can you ask Arun to explain about the postgraduate diploma in supply chain and logistics course generally? Again, team, this course is not. This session is more about the explaining the new policy changes. Uh, but in general, the postgraduate diploma in supply chain management is a good one. But bear in mind, supply chain management, while it is a subject that does reflect in the long-term skill shortage list of New Zealand. There is only one position called procurement manager, which is present in the long-term skill shortage list. So it is important for you to ensure that you are getting into that course for the right reasons, especially if you're trying to get into the postgraduate diploma in supply chain management at the PG level. You should have had adequate experience in supply chain management, because with supply chain management, it is a specialized area. And if you're coming at the postgraduate level, it means that you need to have good experience. And that good experience, along with the postgraduate diploma in New Zealand and in an area where there is a stated skill shortage, more than likely will lead to success. All right. So, uh, okay, if the question is, can spouse accompany on the postgraduate diploma in supply chain management? Guys, I think I've made it very clear. A spouse can go after 26th November 2018. A spouse can only come on a work visa. See, again, the question my team is asking also is not precise. They're saying, can a spouse accompany? Absolutely, a spouse can accompany. Can a spouse accompany on a work visa or on a visitor visa is the question, which again my team has clarified by adding another sentence at the bottom. So that is the question. Can a spouse, see, a spouse can accompany a student coming on a level 7 course as well? No problem. But what kind of visa is the question? Because most of you guys coming into New Zealand as international students and who have spouses accompanying want them to come on work visas, which is fine. I understand you don't want to get a spouse who's just going to sit at home and while their time away. But to be able to get that work visa before you enter New Zealand, it has to be either a level 9 master's course or a level 10 PhD course or a level 8 or a level 7 course, which is exactly defined in the a long-term skill shortage list of New Zealand. Now I have here the long-term skill shortage list of New Zealand open here in front of me, and I am trying to say in the supply chain management, what is the exact course that is described there. The exact course described there for procurement manager is a SIPS level 6 graduate diploma in purchasing and supply. That's what it says. It says SIPS, CIPS, which is Chartered Institute of Purchasing and Supply, level 6 graduate diploma in purchasing and supply, or a SIPS level graduate diploma. Okay, it says clearly. So a postgraduate diploma level 8 is not an exact match to this particular course mentioned in the long term skill shortage list. So if you're choosing a postgraduate diploma which is not exactly mentioned in the long-term skill shortage list. And if you are applying after 26th of November, you will not get a spouse work visa, but you will get a spouse visitor visa. So if your spouse is that fantastic, yes, I can get it. So if you're coming for a course in, let's say, supply chain management, and your spouse is a very well accomplished IT person, get him or her along on the visitor visa, and then on their own merit they will go out and find a job. And if they are able to get a salary of 42,952, they will get themselves an essential skills work visa. Or if they get a salary of 50,523, they themselves on their own merit will get a resident visa. So I don't want anybody to get confused about this whole spouse work visa. If a spouse work, if you are looking for a spouse work visa, play it safe, choose a master's level 9 or a PhD level 10. Simple. If you are looking for a level 7 or a level 8 course, there are very few courses which match the exact qualification on the long-term skill shortage list. In fact, in the long-term skill shortage list, most of the level 7 courses are all bachelors in engineering, technology, construction, medicine. These are all in bachelors. Bachelors of physiotherapy, bachelor of surveying, bachelor of medical laboratory science, bachelor of medical imaging. So those are the ones present here. So, and at the graduate diploma level 7, there are only construction project management and highway engineering and construction mentioned in the uh, long-term skill shortage list. So to play it safe, if you want to bring your spouse on a work visa to New Zealand while you are an international student, choose a level 9 or choose a level 10, which is a PhD, which is not very easy. So choose a level 9. If you are looking at a level 8 or a level 7, please check with the AJB team so that we can check and tell you whether it is an exact match to what is there in the a long-term skill shortage list, which also keeps changing once in a while. So, which is why we are there sitting there as experts for you. So, as our students, when you come to us and check, we'll tell you. If it's not possible, we'll tell you not possible. Can you look at the masters? And that's the way it is. Or we'll tell you, hey, look, if your husband or wife is really, really good in their own domain, take that person, bring that person on a visitor visa. And while they're here on a visitor visa, they can go and find their own employment and then go either into an essential skills or a resident visa. I hope that's clear. Team, if it's not clear, let me know and I'll try and explain it further. But anyhow, my throat is also coming to an end today. How long? I think I have been going for about an hour now. And guys, since yesterday, it's been crazy, the number of phone calls and the number of discussions. Okay, here's another question from Veena Kunil. Hi, sir. I'm an AGV student and I'm currently waiting for visa for the course starting in September, PG Diploma in IT from Fitteria, planning to come with my spouse. What is my chance of getting visa? Veena, we do not accept cases unless and until we are certain that our students will get a visa. Uh, we last year we had a visa success rate of 89%, which I was personally not happy about, nor was my team happy about. So I think this year we are already about 94 or 95% visa success rate. Of course, Immigration Department of New Zealand will publish all the statistics as we go forward. And but I'm quite certain, with just off the top of my head, that we are already above the 90% mark this year. So I think we will do. Veena, like I said, so we will not have taken you on board as our student if we were not confident about getting a visa for you. So don't worry about chances of getting your visa. And also because we are applying for your spouse work visa before the implementation of the new policy, because you're choosing a postgraduate diploma in IT, I'm quite certain that should also come through. All right, cool. All right, Rambo Stallone says, thank you, really appreciate it. You're welcome. I hope you guys are resting easy and breathing easy now. Okay, thanks, Najia. I appreciate all your feedback. Okay, I'm just quickly going through all the other questions to see if I missed any more of my AGV students' questions. I know a lot of you guys have also asked questions, but guys, sorry, I'm one selfish guy, and I like to talk and respond to our AJV students first. Anybody I missed who is an AJV student or somebody who did not identify themselves? And I also had a feedback from one of my team members saying, okay, so that was Nova's. Okay, right. I've already answered Nova. And any other questions? Guys, just bear in mind, I'll be back live again on, excuse me, on Tuesday, which is my normal regular Tuesday session. Today, I had to do an out of turn session today because uh, of this all this sudden policy changes. And I hope I was clear because there were a lot of questions coming towards me, and I was trying to answer them as many as possible. And please bear in mind, I'm still forming my own thoughts, and I have three PDFs open at the bottom of this Facebook and YouTube live sessions. I'm also reading it at the same time. I'm trying to interpret, and some of you are throwing some sudden googlies at me. Like Shilpa suddenly asked me about accredited employer, which is like was not definitely meant to be as part of this discussion, but I was trying to field all your questions today. But overall, I think, like I said yesterday, when I did a session, I actually it was not a live session. I just shot a video using my good old trusted phone, and I kind of sat down and I think I said, "Wow, what a great policy!" I think overall, what is happening is that the government of New Zealand has suddenly now realized that New Zealand is a premium destination, and which it always was. In fact, I have maintained for the last 15 years that I've been in the industry that New Zealand is a premium destination and it will continue to be a premium destination. And unfortunately, in between, I think they kind of made it a little relaxed, and so there were a deluge of people who were coming in. But when this government came into power, the Labour government, which is ruling right now, there was a lot of talk about cutting down on numbers and stuff like that. But I think this is an incredible policy change, and in fact, it has made us so competitive. I think we are taking on some of the bigger destinations of the world, who also try to attract international students. The challenge, I think, inherent in the international education industry is that most international students come with they on the 8th of August, when I was actually conducting a seminar at a college in Auckland, I started by asking, there were about 40 people in the room, and I asked, how many of you want to study and go back to your home? Not one single hand went up. I said, how many of you want to study, find a job, and stay back in New Zealand? Whoop, all the hands went up like that. So I understand the expectation is there for all you guys and girls who want to come and invest your money, time, and effort into New Zealand and not only acquire good quality education, but also pick up good jobs and go on to become future workers, residents, and citizens of this country. But also bear in mind that New Zealand is a small country. There are not a lot of places open for residents. So, which is why approximately only about 20% of international students eventually translate to become migrants. When I say migrants, I mean residents and permanent residents and citizens. And that's the point. But for the others, this is a beautiful opportunity now because although you may not reach that goal of residency, you guys are going to get about 3 years of work rights in New Zealand. And if some of you are coming with your spouses, that three for yourself, three for your spouse, and the combined 6 years of working is a good amount of money can be created, especially if you're going back to India or Pakistan or Nepal, so or Bangladesh or some of the South Asian countries or other countries because of the dollar. So you could actually go back with a fair bit of money in your hand as well. So the government is being very smart. We want to grow our international education industry. Out of those international students who come, we want to hold on to about 20% and make them our residents here so that our own worker shortages are taken care of. But the others will go back with good experiences of New Zealand and hopefully become good ambassadors for New Zealand. So immigration is not an easy subject. Immigration is not a very, how do I say, smooth subject sometimes because the expectations of people are very high. But if you guys are realistic and come with the right expectations and take the good advice of good people like AJV and budget, I don't mean just myself, I mean my wonderful team of 34, 35 people We are waiting there out there to guide you at each and every step. We guys are learning all the time, every day. I keep learning, my team keeps learning, and we're trying to add and put in some really good people into the team who have the knowledge and the willingness to help all of you. So come with realistic expectations, and I think New Zealand is making it very, very fair. Even if you cannot eventually reach your residency aspiration, I think they're providing you a good platform to be able to work, gain valuable international experience, and hopefully earn some money and get your recover your investment and go back with good memories and a good experience. So that's it, guys. I think I'm going to wind it up for today. Normally, my throat doesn't hold up beyond 1 hour of talking, and it's quite a a pressurized situation as well. Live sessions, YouTube, Facebook, and I have a big heating vent under this table. Sometimes my kids, who are out somewhere out there, will turn up the heat, and I start. Not only do I get the heat from you guys, I also start getting the heat from out from the underfloor vents as well. So anyhow, we had a great session today, and I think it's a top of the world moment for a lot of good students and institutions in New Zealand, and for companies like HAB. If you're planning on New Zealand, fantastic decision, because we are making it even better and better. But choose the right advisors, choose HAB services. If you're based in India, please call 1-800 103 6525. That is our toll free number. Okay, there you go. So 1-800 103 6525. That's our toll free number in India. No cost, just pick up the phone and speak to one of our expert advisors, or send an email to info@ajvglobal.com. I don't know if it is visible, but that's our info@ajvglobal.com. Send your contact details and we will get in touch with you. But thanks as always for watching my live sessions. I'll be back again on Tuesday. And till such a time, enjoy your weekends. Have a great day. And I'll see you again on Tuesday. Take care. Bye bye from Hamilton. Good night.